MTG Requiem here. We're back with our last match of the league with Sultai Midrange. We're going to be on the play. This is essentially the ideal draw, though we don't have a green source for Tarmogoyf. But since we have a couple hand disruption spells, I think this is keepable. Hoping to lead in with the hand disruption to buy us some time. We could hand disrupt Thought Scour the next turn if we need to try and get our green mana source. So I'm good with this. I'm gonna assume burn due to the ooh, nice. Okay, so we have this looks like Lantern. Alrighty, this is tough. We could take Pithing Needle on the assumption they name. I mean, Bridge is the big problem child. We also do have some answers for it. We do want to minimize their ability to abrupt decay us. They aren't going to empty their hand too fast. We have a second Thought Seize, so actually I almost feel like we should start with an abrupt decay. We may need to take the Bridge. Needle. If he needles Liliana, we're in trouble. A little bit. Bridge, Needle. Honestly, Liliana's not the greatest in this matchup. Bridge, Needle, Extraction, Decay, Marsh, Inspire. Yeah, so I think we're going to take an Abrupt Decay. We want to be able to resolve one of our threats, and it's possible by the time we get there we can I mean, he has to get to 3 land to even play the Bridge. Kind of will depend a little bit on what our third land is. We probably want to lead with Thought Scour before Thought Seize, but that's also a little dangerous. Okay, so he actually is going to proactively extract on the Inquisition, which is great for us. Now we are safe to essentially Thought Scour. He has a better idea of what our deck is. So now by doing this, he can Pithing Needle Liliana of the Veil if he wants to, which I wouldn't be shocked to see that happen now. That also makes us a lot more likely to, well, I don't know. Yep, so this is going to be naming Lily, almost certainly. Yep. So we may just hold on to Lily as a card to pitch to Collective Brutality in case that comes up. Okay, so here is our fetch. He's got double bridge now, so that makes first bridge even worse. So bridge, marsh. Really hoping he misses on the third land. Alright, so fortunately Goyf is too big. Brutality is alright. I mean, we can drain our opponent. We can't take the bridge from them. We're really needing to get to a pulse at this point. They did tap out. Unfortunately, collective brutality. See, the flip side of this is Liliana might actually be good if we can Liliana could actually be good if we draw an Abrupt Decay on that Pithing Needle. So Stubborn Denial is good. If we had drawn the Stubborn Denial before, we could have blocked the second Ensnaring Bridge, but we can counter almost anything he does now. I don't really care about this so far. That's not the most threatening card. He can't actually see what we have. I'm okay with that for the moment. It's possible we just want to run Liliana out right now just to be on the... I mean, we may not be able to activate her, but at least we have her on the battlefield. We don't have to spend the mana later. So we're really trying to draw into... It's fine. Actually, so long as we draw a Snapcaster, the milling here might even set us up with a situation where we can Maelstrom Pulse here. Again, not really worried about the mill cards. He is probably more worried about them than we are. So he's going to start milling himself. So we don't want him to have that. We don't want him to be able to see what's on top of our library. We really want to be able to draw a Maelstrom Pulse or a Snapcaster Mage. So he has a third ensnaring bridge he's just holding, and for the time being that is quite alright. Crucible is going to allow him to start building his mana base up. Now he'll be able to use Codex Shredder at some point to return a card to his hand. An Abrupt Decay right now would be great. Stubborn Denial is still fine. Just trying to mill himself for lands really right now. So now we can actually sacrifice Ghoul Caller's Bell to go get a card, probably Ancient Stirrings, maybe Lantern of Insight again. Or he can actually sacrifice the Codex Shredder, rather. There's no reason for us to not let this Ensnaring Bridge resolve. We're still dependent on a Maelstrom Pulse. Probably won't play any more lands for a while here. And he is not flipping the Ghoul Caller spells specifically so that he doesn't want to put like Maelstrom Pulse into the graveyard for us to Snapcaster. So there's the Maelstrom Pulse. It's going to allow us to get in for quite a bit of damage. When he goes to cast the next one, we'll be able to Stubborn Denial it. Snapcaster Mage is what we're looking to draw. We don't want any of those cards. If he actually spends the turn to Ghoul Caller and Ensnaring Bridge back to his hand, he can't cast it anyway. Alright, so sacrifice Codex Shredder, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Actually, so we're just going to let this resolve. So if he's stubborn, then if we Stubborn Denial this, so he's going to lose 2 life. We can get Collective Brutality and finish him off that way, which is actually funny if we had used the other. There's no point in I guess. So if he has the last one, his 4th Ensnaring Bridge, which is great, we still can just top deck Abrupt Decay or a Snapcaster Mage to end the game. Just like that. Alright, so we're going to get the win there. This has actually been a really awesome set of matchups. Getting Scredge on Deldrazi Tron, Grixis Control, Lantern. Just don't always get that many tier decks, if you will. Surgical Extraction, definitely coming in. Spell Pierce is good. I wonder if Ashiok is good here. Sticking in Ashiok is legitimately a way to mill them potentially as fast as they're milling us. I'm just kind of thinking here what we might want to get. So Liliana's good. Let's see, what else do we got here? So Fatal Push, terrible. I don't know that we actually need Thought Scour, although the nice thing about Thought Scour, it is going to allow us to take a draw kind of away from them, if you will, if that makes sense. Like they may try and and the same thing with Painful Truths. They may try and control our draws, but Thought Scour is going to allow us to mill a couple and draw a card without them knowing what it is. It could kind of be like a blind draw. We also could Thought Scour them to surgically extract, although I think Spell Pierce, Stubborn Denial into surgical extraction would be a better game plan. So what don't we need here? I don't know that Rain of Tears is really going to be all that great. Sometimes it's pretty good against them, but I don't think it's really what we're looking for here. Tasigur could be alright, but again, it can't attack particularly well. What were we saying? Collective Brutality, a way to drain them out. I don't think we need more than 2 of those. And being on the draw, actually I think we'll just run it like this. If we can get a turn 3 Ashiok, that might actually be pretty decent. So this is interesting. Almost a good hand. I actually think I want to keep this, except I feel like we're going to get Thought Seized on the first turn and just get wrecked because of it. Game should go long enough that I'm not so worried about lands. Mill yourself, please. Just going to assume he's going to take the Surgical Extraction or the Abrupt Decay. So he's probably feeling pretty good considering he had an ensnaring bridge there. But we can Snapcaster extract that at any point as well. Each player exiles the top card of his library face down. Each player turns up all puts all permanents on the battlefield. Okay. Fortunately, we missed there, but we do have worst case Stubborn Denial and Spell Pierce maybe on the next turn. So we have cards exiled upside down that we don't know what they are. It's going to get a Crucible. Excellent. We are already at 4 card types, which is great. Spellskite. And I think we actually go for an island here. If we go for the Abrupt Decay, well, no, we're going to go for a forest because his other Ghost Quarter is down. This will give us 1 turn to resolve an Abrupt Decay. Oh, he has another one. So if we go for the Spellskite, whatever we go for, he's going to crack the Welding Jar. I think we'll go for the Spellskite. I don't think he can let us filter our draws this way. Yeah. So I am going to say okay to all of these, and I am going to put the Extraction on the bottom, the Delta, and the Thoughtseize on top. And the hope here is that he will mill us twice, leaving the Surgical Extraction as our top draw, allowing us to get the Ensnaring Bridge. So he's going to mill his own graveyard, allows him to play lands. We might need the Abrupt Decay later. I'm going to Spell Pierce that. He lets us draw our card. Question is, will he let us draw more? So we're going to mix it up a little bit more here. We're going to put delta .c's extraction. So there goes the delta, or the .c's rather. We can .c's ourself. I did the land, didn't I? He's gonna target himself with some more milling. Grafdigger's Cage. That's something we would stubborn denial if we needed to. So we're really just kind of hoping he'll flip one more for us. I think we're drawing another .c's actually. Liliana. So we can .c's him and going for the abrupt decay. Stubborn denial, unfortunately, not going to stop that. Well, we do have surgical extraction on top, but there's a good chance he'd be milling that away on us. Thankfully, we have stubborn denial for whatever he tries to cast. And there goes our surgical extraction. So I'm assuming he's going to chump with Spellskite this turn. Again, we have the potential to, say, top deck a Collective Brutality. Yep. So that guarantees him 2 more turns. Yeah, so we'll do that. He'll move to second main and attempt to resolve. I don't think we have any left, yeah. Plays yet another. Oh, yeah, that's right. So he's got his Crucible. So he's just looping Ghost Quarters. We're out of basics. It's up to It's up to him to not draw an ensnaring bridge. Oh, stubborn denial. Ugh. I think we're locked out here. Just trying to think if we were to play a fetch. We'd have to see how he handles the first fetch. Depending on when he were to attempt to destroy with a Ghost Quarter would indicate whether or not we might be able to draw land into a land. But we still have to have an Abrupt Decay, so... Okay, Academy Ruins is going to be an issue now as well. If he returns a Welding Jar, we're just going to be essentially straight locked out. So we'll see what he does here. If he puts a Welding Jar on top, then we'll probably just concede. You know, I don't think he ever saw Ashiok though, so it may be worthwhile to just concede now. No point in letting him see anymore. So we'll say that was 10. Rain of Tears, Fatal Push, Collective Brutality. I mean, the Collective Brutality could be good to drain him. I think we're still good where we are, though. Stubborn Denial, Tarmogoyf, Abrupt Decay. Yeah, that works. Because we can Stubborn Denial his Hand Disruption spell turn 1. That allows us to get our Goyf down. So we're going to go blue-black here. And we're going to hope really, really hard that we peel an Ashiok next turn. So quite a few good cards there. The Abrupt Decay is going to be a little bit of a problem with the Tarmogoyf there. Probably be leading into Painful Truths next turn. Excellent. And I'm hoping he did not see. So he won't actually have seen the Ashiok, so long as he we may be able to get away with something here if we can get this Ashiok down. So we know he has an Abrupt Decay. Assuming the Tarmogoyf's going to eat it here. Definitely need to lead with the Tarmogoyf and attacking before we play the Ashiok. Possibly set up another Painful Truths draw. So, I mean, he still does have the ability to cast the Abrupt Decay. Really want him to use that Abrupt Decay. Excellent. So we exile this Academy Ruins. Next turn we should be able to Snapcaster a Painful Truths back. We have access to Snapcaster, Stubborn Denial as it is. Sugar, Digger's Cage. So mill the top 2 cards of his library, which should allow us to draw the Stubborn Denial, which he may or may not allow. I think at this point we may want 1, 2, 3, 4. We may want to blow up the Pixis. It's fine. It's not really how we're planning to win, so. It's possible we're not doing this quite right. He's probably going to go get Pivy Needle now that I think about it. We should have kept exile all cards from opponent hand in the graveyard. Yeah, so I think we kind of like locked ourselves out here. That was a mistake. He can use Inventor's Fair to... Yeah. opponent's super salty, by the way, for what it's worth. So we're going to flip flare. That's probably what we're getting back. Glimmer Void. It's going to put Spellskite down. Ugh. So we're going to get that Thoughtseize back. Fortunately, we have to help him here. We really just need a Snapcaster Mage. Yep, Tarmogoyf. Not a whole lot we can do here. Alright, so now he has to give us something useful, at least. Looking for a Snapcaster Mage. Alright, so we're just gonna load the board. Oh man. This deck. Oh, that's what we need to draw. We have no way to crack it. If we lose that Snapcaster, that actually costs us. That is the game, right? We already have 2. Oh no, I guess we have 1 more. All we can hope is that somehow he sets us up with the wrong card on top. Probably should have just been trying to play him to time. It's not really all that great, but Ashiok would have been good. I mean, we're really down to like Liliana. Nah, Liliana's too slow at this point. We have to draw the Snapcaster. And we can't even really do anything because the Spellskite's gonna be the difference anyway. Yep. And this is how the deck wins. Yeah, I definitely made a mistake, and I don't remember exactly what it was now, but I had the potential of I don't remember exactly what it was. Something to do with the way I used the Ashiok was not smart. Actually, I do wonder if Stone Rain might be stronger here. Well, unfortunately, that was a beatdown of a league, so we actually lost that match 1-2. Looked like we were in pretty decent shape. Definitely have some game against the deck. But yeah, I think it was because I don't know if there was even anything I could have done. Maybe it was just I needed to leave mana up to counter a spell or something. But anywho, deck didn't work out too well. Ran into some bizarre ran into some I don't want to say bizarre situations. I just feel like we didn't particularly draw very well, and I mean, like if I think about the matchup against Red, not only did we were able to draw well, play well, played around stuff well. Jund, I mean, Jund just tends to be top decks and top deck wars. I mean, we're both playing BGX decks, and he drew all the answers to what I played, and not vice versa. And so that just happens. Eldrazi Tron, we just got blown out by fast mana and Ugin and all his dust. That's gonna happen. Grixis Control. I feel like it's possible maybe we sideboarded a little poorly against them, but again, just kind of they had the right answers at the right times where we didn't. But then, yeah, I mean, we're top decking in that matchup. We're top decking Thought Seizes, and they're top decking Tassigers. So, Lantern Control. Oh, I don't know. I just feel like he did have the right stuff. He probably needed more threats. I really feel like looking at the deck, and I'm kind of gonna wax eloquent here, but I don't think Ashiok really does anything. I mean, Ashiok's okay, and definitely were spots. I feel like we brought him in the right spots, but I don't think Ashiok's really that good. I think Liliana, the Last Hope, would be better in one of those spots. I definitely think extra counter magic would be better as well. I feel like when you're splashing blue, I feel like the main deck should probably be more hand disruption, slightly more hand disruption possibly, with the cutting of maybe a Stubborn Denial or two. And I feel like the sideboard should be a lot more counter magic. Probably we don't need 3 damnation type effects. Rain of Tears is good. I don't mind the Rain of Tears. We probably don't need 3 surgical extraction either. So I feel like you could definitely run like some dispels or negates, maybe negates and spell pierce. Just more of those tempo type counter magic spells. Again, maybe just some Stubborn Denials, and it's possible you even want Stubborn Denial in the main. But I don't know. I just feel like it played kind of clunky and funky tonight, but part of that could be bad draws. I definitely don't feel like in at least 2 or 3 of the matchups we really drew well. Obviously, Lantern controls your draws, so I'm not going to complain much about the draws there. But in general, I don't know that the deck necessarily drew very well, and sometimes that happens. So, anywho, a little disappointing. I was hoping the deck would turn out a little bit better, but that's how it works sometimes. I think we'll probably be back with some Death Shadow next time. So hopefully you enjoy.